In the last 26 days, what extent of matching has been done by you? What steps have you taken in the last 26 days? The application is absolutely silent on that.
We can put a detailed affidavit on that,
no,
because I know
it should have been disclosed in the affidavit.
I agree. I agree.
State Bank of India, which is coming to us, we expect that there should be a degree of candor on the part of the State Bank of India. That this is what the work which we have done. The work is at this stage. We need an extension of time to carry out the balance of the exercise which remains.
The only problem which we are now trying to collate the information and create is because we are having to actually reverse a whole process. The standard operating process we had put in made sure that there was no connection between the name of the purchaser in our core banking system and the bond number. Because we as the bank were told that this is supposed to be secret. Now, if a handful of people also within the bank had access to this is the kind of information which would have been. So,
Salve,
yes.
If you see your application,
yes,
if we start at para 10, paras 10 to 14 of your application are the key to your application.
Lordship, please.
What you say in para 10 is that it is submitted that donor details were kept. I'm sorry, just give me a moment. You have it. It is submitted that donor details were kept in a sealed cover at the designated branch, and all such sealed covers were deposited in the main branch of the applicant bank, which is located in Mumbai.
Yes, ma'am.
On the other end, each political party was required to maintain a designated account in any of the 29 authorized branches. It was only in this account that electoral bonds received by that party could be deposited and redeemed. At the time of redemption, the original bond, the pay-in slip, would be stored in a sealed cover and sent to the SBI Mumbai main branch. So what you are saying is that donor details were all sent to the SBI main branch. Redemption details were all sent to the the same branch, the SBI Central Main Branch in Mumbai.
Yes.
Now, if you see the directions which we have issued at page 76,
my lord,
we have not told you to do the matching exercise. We have asked you for a plain disclosure. Therefore, the ground on which you seek an extension of time to make the disclosure does not accord with the directions in the judgment at all. The judgment doesn't tell you to do that.
No, I'll tell you what we understand. If that is not so, then of course there is no problem. If your lordship is pleased to turn to para 221.
Then you simply comply with the judgment.
No, please turn to para 221. Your lordship's judgment?
Page 76, right?
76, yes. SBI shall submit details of electoral bonds purchased since the interim order of the court. No problem. No problem. The details shall include the date of purchase of each electoral bond, the name of the purchaser of the bond, and the denomination of the electoral bond purchase. Now, my lord, when the purchases were happening, we divided the information. The name is kept at one place and the purchase is recorded at another place.
But ultimately, everything was sent to the Mumbai Central Main Branch. All issuing branches, for the political parties, there are only 24. Actually, there are 4. But insofar as the purchasers are concerned, everything has been remitted back to the Mumbai Central Main Branch.
Except, I'm sorry, my lord, your lordship is right. It is not kept at one place because the reason, if your lordship just sees an earlier para, my lord was pleased to see para 10. If your lordship just sees para 5 and 7, that's why the problem has arisen in this case. Para 5 said central government framed the electoral bond scheme, which provided that the information furnished by the buyer shall be treated as confidential, and the bank shall not be disclosed by any authority for any purpose. Now, we knew this is sensitive information, so a physical procedure was devised. You sort of did a KYC and you kept the name in that. And once that was cleared, then only the bond number was cleared, and then the bond number was used for further purchases. The money came to people who didn't know who the money was, who was the real name of the purchaser. They just knew this was a cleared account, so it came into a bond payment account, and from the bond payment account it was given. And it was done precisely to prevent this kind of gossip coming out saying so-and-so has purchased so much. Now, para 7, if you see the SOP, because this is not something we've done now, this is the original SOP, said no detail.
Ultimately, even your FAQs, which were shown to us during the course of the hearing,
yes,
the FAQs indicate that for every purchase, you have to have a separate KYC.
Yes, we have that. We have that.
Therefore, it's very clear that every time somebody made a purchase, a KYC was mandated. That one set of documents, namely the electoral bond application form, KYC documents, citizenship documents, and pay-in slips.
Manoj, there's no issue. We have the details. Please don't misunderstand me.
Therefore, you have the details.
No, I have the details. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it's not there.
One minute, Mrs. Salve. Now, paragraph 10, you specifically say that all the purchasers' details have been kept in a sealed cover.
Yes.
In the main branch of the applicant bank.
Correct, Manoj.
You just have to simply open up the sealed cover and collate the names and give the details.
Manoj,
as far as paragraph 11 is concerned, you're saying that the Dhoni's details are being kept in a sealed cover, envelope in a sealed cover. Open up the sealed cover and give the details. In fact,
tell Manoj where the only bit of information.
If I'm not mistaken, the EC was asked to file an affidavit, which you, in a sealed affidavit or details in a sealed envelope, which we have not opened. With regard to the donor details and other details during the course of hearing, which they may have filed.
Manoj, my problem is this, Manoj. With respect, in fact, just responding to what my lord has said, I have full details of who purchased the bond, but that's put in one silo of information. I have full details of where the money came from, which is in a second silo, and I have a complete detail of which political party tendered how many bonds and who has been paid how much. That's a easy ask. That can be given straight away. The problem is, Manoj, I have to now put the name of the purchaser, which is in the first sealed packet, and these are all physically kept. They were not put into the banking system. And each form will have to be taken out, the name checked, that name now correlated to the payment detail, and the payment detail correlated to the bond, and finally that's where the bond number gets generated, and then we can connect as to which political party who has given that money.
Okay, now, that's not been asked, Mr. Salve.
But Manoj, I have to give
direction to correlate it with the purchaser and the political party.
Manoj, para 76 does suggest that. Would your lordship just see it for a moment? If you
don't go by what is suggested. Whatever you wanted to speak, we have spoken in black and white.
No, in that, Manoj, your lordships, please see that sentence. I'm not, Manoj, we have no desire at all to try and expand our own job, Manoj. Please see page 76. This by itself is creating difficulties. Manoj, your lordship say the detail shall include date of purchase of a bond, no problem. But the moment I have to give the detail of the name with the bond number, that is taking time because we had deliberately put these in two silos. If your lordships want only the details of who purchased the bonds, we can give that straight away.
Mr. Salve, our judgment is dated 15th of February 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
We are now on the 11th of March.
Yes, ma'am.
In the last 26 days, what extent of matching has been done by you? What steps have you taken in the last 26 days? The application is absolutely silent on that.
We can put a detailed affidavit on that one because I know
it should have been disclosed in the affidavit.
I agree, man. I agree.
State Bank of India, which is coming to us, we expect that there should be a degree of candor on the part of the State Bank of India. That this is what the work which we have done. The work is at this stage. We need an extension of time to carry out the balance of the exercise which remains.
But we have sought to explain the problem and the work is going on because each form, it will have to be form by form.
What is going on? To what extent you have reached?
Work is going on form by form. They will, if you're also on, I can give the exact detail of how many we have covered and how many more we can cover. But they did a rough calculation. It will take about 3 months more. Because I'll tell Manoj my other concern. I have another big concern, Manoj. I cannot make a mistake in this. I'll get sued by the donor. I'll get sued by people because I cannot by mistake say A got it when B had it.
Highest court of this country. So where is the question of you being sued?
I'm sorry, Manoj.
Whatever you are doing under the directions of the highest court of.
No, Manoj. If I make a mistake, if I say Mr. X got it instead of Mr. Y got it in a hurry to give the numbers, I could create havoc there, Manoj, because ultimately.
As we take it, Mr. Salve, you are accepting that there's no difficulty in giving names of the donors who purchased the bonds and the amount they purchased the bonds. You have got no difficulty in giving details of the political parties who have purchased the particular bonds. The only difficulty is matching the purchased bond with that. But 26 days, you must have carried out at least some say 10,000 bonds you have been able to collate, 5,000 bonds you have been able to collate?
Well, quite frankly, what I saw, they were struggling with it. They were making charts which we saw were not matching. I'll tell you what has happened. No, I'll tell you candidly what has happened.
If I'm not mistaken, it was pointed out to us that the bonds had some number which under some instrument they were able to.
Yes. But that number.
That's all has to be done.
That number is not to be found in the application for purchase or in the first set of documents. The problem is that number, when number was generated, that number has been scrambled and put elsewhere, and that number has been kept secret. Now, putting that will require tracing it into each transaction. At the stage of the interim order, and I'm saying what happened at that time. The kind of information which your lordship asked was a macro information. So that is no problem.
In pursuance of the interim order,
Yes.
Election Commission of India has filed, details before us.
Or whatever they have.
In separate silos, if we can use that expression.
Yes.
The ministry has placed that, in secured custody with us. We'll direct them to open it here right now, because since we were deciding a point of constitutional validity, we didn't consider it necessary either during the course of the hearing or thereafter. So we can ask them to open it, and we'll ask the Election Commission of India to divulge whatever there is, and we'll ask SBI to then divulge what we have asked them to do.
Yes, we'll do it. We'll send it to
before us.
Your lordship.
Mr. Sharma, whatever has been placed by you before us, in compliance with the judgment, we will direct that to be open right now.
And your lordship directed us to give it to the ECI. So we'll give it to the ECI, or your lordship want us to file it directly in court? I think better through the ECI.
No, you, Mr. Salve, you comply with the order of the court.
To give it to the ECI.
Whatever ECI has placed in the court.
Already.
We will direct that to be open. We'll ask our court to make a copy of it, a digitized copy for the safekeeping of the court. And then we will return it back to the rest. We'll return it back to ECI for them to upload it on their website.
But what ECI has already, there's no problem. We will give to the ECI as in the time, if you're not to give us 3 months, we'll go and give it to the ECI. And they, as and when they get it, they can upload it. We want to make sure we get every bond number right, every donor right. Because this otherwise is going to create havoc. For today, for donors who come and say, this is not my bond, I did not purchase this, you put the wrong number on my bond, I did not give this.
There's no question of that. Once he's given the KYC, he's given the details, you also have the application. The application will be having the amount.
No, I'm sorry, Marat. I'm sorry. My concern is he purchased bond number X. I by mistake, I put his number as purchasing bond number Y. Now, X may have gone to political party A, Y may have gone to political party B.